Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another video on the channel. Apologies, there was only the one video last week. I've been very busy with college, etc. But the main news is I've had a haircut. I know, obviously, that is the major news. But yes, so I don't look like an absolute abomination. So yes, I am here for the latest transfer news. Going to try and do this every Monday or maybe Tuesday. We'll see. Obviously, with the old FFP, there's not loads in terms of incoming, but it's the outgoings where it is really at. So yeah, I will give the news to you. But before we do, make sure to smash a like on the video, subscribe if you are in fact new to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. So there is a couple of minor confirmed deals here. The first one being Jonathan Panzo. He's been recalled / had his loan terminated. I'm not too sure what the exact title of his loan being cancelled is. Yeah, he's returned from Cardiff. He didn't really play too many games there. I still do think he's a competent Championship defender from his time at Coventry. But yeah, he returns. He will probably be sold or loaned out because we don't need him. I don't see us using him. So yeah, it's just probably for the best there. The next player is Ollie Hammond, has been sent out on loan for 1.5 years to Oldham Athletic. So he'll be there for this 6 months and then all of next season. And yeah, very fair. Needs some game time. So yeah, not really going to say loads because he's not really got into the first team at all, as he's still 19 years old. So yeah, he's been sent out on loan to Oldham, which I think is a very good move for him. We're going to kickstart the rumours with the incomings first of all. The first player being Mandel Keita. Now, the only sort of, I want to say, issue with this is very dependent on the sale of MANGALA, which there is some more news on that, which I will touch on when we get to the outgoings. He's 21 years of age. He's Belgium. He's currently playing for Antwerp. He's 21 years old. He looks like he plays a similar sort of role to Mangala, sort of a little bit deeper. You know, his numbers reflect something similar to what Mangala's got for us. 15 appearances, 1 assist. He's going to be probably more of a DM if we do sign him. He was signed last summer for about 7.5, 8 million quid by Antwerp, and they want to try and get about double what they got. So they're going to want around that 14 million quid mark. I say in pounds, probably about 13, 14 million, because they're signing for about 7.5, 8 million euros. His market value is about 13 million euros. So I think a fair valuation is between 10 and 15 million. If we could get maybe a sweet spot, this is all if we sell Mangala. If we don't, then we probably won't sign him if we don't sell Mangala, because that depends on the Mangala funds coming in. So yeah, I think long term, if we do sell Mangala, I think he will be very good. And also if he's a Nuno player, all the better. However, I still don't know, I don't really think selling Mangala's a great thing to do if we have a choice. Obviously, if we need to raise a certain amount of money, then yeah, the fee that we could get is very, very comfortable and very, very nice. However, you know, if we can get around it fairly, then yeah, I'm still not too sure. I really like Mangala. The next player is John Boa. He's a striker, 30 years of age, who's currently playing out in Russia. Yeah, if we do sign him, it is reportedly going to be a loan deal. So I'm not too sure on this. He's 30, same age as Chris Wood. I said this in the last transfer video. If we are going to be signing another striker, I feel like they have to be like a little bit younger, right? Sort of like 20s, not really in the 30s. Because for one, if he's guaranteed at least 1 injury a season, Chris Wood, there's a very valid chance that he could get injured. As much as he doesn't have an awful injury record, Carboda, he doesn't seem like a really plausible option long term. And also with Awonyi apparently returning in the next few weeks, it seems a bit strange to be signing someone like this on loan. His goal scoring record isn't awful, 20 games, 11 goals, 4 assists. It's not awful in the slightest. However, it's the fact of if you're signing a player of that age on loan from such a far-fetched league, it's normally because you're depleted in that area. Well, no, we've got Chris Wood, who's on very good form, 6 goals in his last 6 games, and we've got Awonyi, who's less than 4 weeks away from returning. So that doesn't really quite make sense. So I'm not too sure if this is just the old school paper talk or what. So I'm not too sure on the truth behind this or not. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen anything about him. I hadn't even heard of him until not so long ago, a couple of hours ago. So maybe, you know, he could be reincarnated of Lionel Messi. I don't know. But it just doesn't really make sense in my head for us to be signing him with his age and his overall attributes. The final rumoured incoming player is Gio Reyna. He's currently at Borussia Dortmund in Germany. He's 21 years of age. He's sort of a number 10/winger, which I think as a number 10 it seems like a bit of a strange signing because we've got Gibbs White. However, as a winger, it could work. With, say, Elanga's currently out injured. I don't know how long his injury is for. And Hudson-Odoi being a little bit inconsistent so far. I still think he's definitely got the ability. It's just, yeah, he's not been 10 out of 10 so far. So, and even with Hudson-Odoi, like, we're still, like, in that wide area. And with Gibbs White being so good as a sole number 10, another player in that sort of position wouldn't go amiss. The dilemma is Wolves and Villa are also interested, and it's 13 million euros. The fee, again, it'll be dependent on Mangala's transfer and any other outgoings. I think we're going to have to sell in order to buy, which I think is fair when you've got FFP issues and all that. However, looking at his time at Dortmund, he's been more of a rotation player, as you expect, with the fantastic players that Dortmund have at their disposal. Last season, he got 7 goals, 2 assists in 22 games, which is very respectable for a bit of a rotation player. So far this season, not too many opportunities, just 10 appearances so far. Not got a goal contribution yet. So I think at the age he's at, he probably does want to go and play a bit more regularly. And as any player, if you get the option to play in the Premier League, you take it. It's the sort of the fee and the clubs that are interested. It's the 2 stumbling blocks. I think he'll be a very good player from the compilations that I saw of him. So yeah, but either as a winger option or as a backup to Gibbs White, he does look like a good option, and he could develop further as well. Now looking at the outgoings, starting with Nico Williams. Now Leeds and Feyenoord are the 2 clubs that are mainly interested. Reportedly, we've had a loan bid from Feyenoord rejected, which is good. Leeds' long-standing interest. I don't know if they've actually put anything concrete in yet. I'm not too sure, but we are reportedly reluctant to sell, which is good. I don't see a reason it's the daftest thing possible if we really want to sell Nico Williams or even loan him out, because it looks like it's going to be a loan. That is the most backwards thing we could do. I think we have 2 very good right-backs, Montiel and Nico Williams. We don't need to add anything, we don't need to take away. We've also got Serge Aurier, but again, he's currently out of AFCON, I believe, and also he's not been 10 out of 10 so far this season. So it would be absolutely stupid of us to let Nico Williams go. It reminds me of a couple of years ago, back in 2021, where we had 2 very capable left-backs in Yuri Ribeiro and Nicolas Ioanu. And we just got rid of both of them, and then we had an absolute left-back crisis. This could very easily go the same way. We could have a right-back crisis. Obviously, it's a bit of a different level, you know, Premier League to bottom half of the Championship, but the same still applies. We've got 2 good right-backs. There is no reason to get rid of one, because we've got a player like Mangala, who's in the more stacked area, who we could sell for much more and gain much more profit and much more money. So yeah, that's where I stand on it. But it'll be absurd to get rid of Williams. He's made 51 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists. He's been absolutely sensational the last couple of months when he's played. Barely put a foot wrong, and yeah, he's ideal for us. The next player, Joe Worrell, now is being linked with a move to Sheffield United. Personally, listen, I've been the big defender of Worrell. And, you know, he's been getting a lot of stick and a lot of abuse on Twitter over the last couple of months. I just think if he's going to leave, which looks inevitable, and I wouldn't really hold the club or him to anything like that, because we need a couple of extra bob to free up FFP, and he's not going to play that much. Personally, if I had the choice of where he would go, it would be Middlesbrough. Championship, he's going to play more. And yeah, Sheffield United, it's technically location-wise and fan-base-wise seen as a rival, so that wouldn't go down brilliantly either. So yeah, I would prefer him to go to Middlesbrough, but again, it depends what the money's saying, both in fee and wages, etc. But yeah, they're reportedly interested. Don't know about the fee or anything like that. Just Chris Wilder wants another defender to sign for Middlesbrough. So yeah, it would be a shame. 226 odd games for the club, and yeah, it's a shame the way it looks like it's going to end. However, yeah, it'll probably be best for both parties. We get a few quid in the bank. He goes and plays more regularly. I personally would just prefer it to be Middlesbrough. And the final sort of rumour is the Mangala saga. There has been some more developments. Napoli are putting in a fresh sort of offer. It will be a 6-month loan deal to the end of the season with, I'm not sure if it's option or an obligation, of worth about 30 to 35 million quid in euros. That's what, it's still about 30 odd million pounds, which I think is good. However, what is the point in a 6-month deal? Apparently there is a loan fee involved, but the loan fee is definitely going to be south of 5 million, which doesn't really benefit us that much. Listen, if it's like 30 to 35 million quid, what they're reportedly offering up front now, you take it. You take it and you run. As much as Mangala's a fantastic player, and I do think he's worth about that £20 million region, that is an absolutely absurd deal, especially the situation we're in, to turn down. But it's pointless prolonging the situation and the scenario. Even if it's an option, there's a chance they say, nah, we don't want him. If it's an obligation, that's different. But the loan fee isn't going to be loads and loads like what the potential fee could be. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it because I mentioned it in my last transfer video, which is up in one of these corners somewhere. So yeah, I have no issues with selling him with the amount we could possibly get, as much as I think he's been a very fantastic player. I think he's probably our best midfielder at the club. If you get that sort of money, you just don't turn it down, especially in the position we're in. But yeah, and also with the player that I mentioned at the start, he could be a very adequate replacement long term as well. But yeah, that is all of the transfers. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are in fact new to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, hopefully this week. See you soon.